Hey everybody, Owen's dad here with another installment of Spare Time for Nerds. What are we looking at today? Well, it's a solo game called Hunting Mining Colony 415, designed by Gabe Barrett, published by Barrett Publishing and Boom Boom Games. This is a solo game, although it does have a two-player expansion, but I'm going to cover the solo game today. You are a captain on a ship who has received a distress signal at a nearby planet, and you and your crew are hurtling down to that planet to find out what's going on at this mining colony. The problem is, once you get there and start exploring throughout its corridors and its rooms, you realize there is not much left to salvage, let alone people. What you do run into, though, are xenomorphs. So if you're a huge fan of the Alien franchise like we are, then this game is right up your alley. Not only is the artwork beautiful, but the mechanics are great. It's a solid game. As you start progressing through the corridors, the doors, and the various rooms of this mining colony, you can run into all kinds of nasties. Let me show you over here. You can run into physical barriers like live wires and broken bridges and all kinds of things. You can run into nasty androids who want to do nothing but dismiss you from life. You can also run into ambushes. These are always fun because they involve nasty bits of teeth and tail and all kinds of xenomorph acid spurting everywhere. There's always one xenomorph. There can sometimes be two xenomorphs, and then, yes, the trio of fun themselves, all three xenomorphs at one time. Why not? These various hurdles and obstacles and things that you have to kill or overcome are just part of the fun of the game. Now, let me show you the components of this game. It starts here with your player board, where you have this timer indicated by this red cube, as well as your health meter, also indicated by another red cube. You are given 14 locations. This deck is 14 cards, has 14 different locations that you have to progress through. There are such things as sewers and air ducts, communications rooms, the laboratory, and every time you enter these various rooms, you get special abilities if you can get through them. Now, in addition to those location cards, you are working through a 57 card deck of various challenges and various items and objects that you get to pick up along the way to help defend yourself against the xenomorphs. Let's look at those. They could be motion detectors. It could be various things to defend yourself like grenades. And who wouldn't want a few spare grenades when xenomorphs are about? To begin with, you start with corridors, and let me get rid of a few of these cards and go back to the corridor card in particular. You'll notice there's some symbols here. A red bell is never a good sign. That means you're making noise moving through the corridor. That attracts the nasty xenomorphs. It also has a search icon, and in order to purchase this card or move through that corridor, it takes two of these movement icons. So the idea here is, on our main board, what we're trying to do is we flip over each one of these cards one by one, building out a tableau so that we can move our way through the complex. In order to do that, for example, here to get through this corridor, I need two of these movement icons. Well, guess what? Right here, with the grenade and with the motion detector, I have those two to purchase that card. The trade-off is, do I want to get the grenade instead or keep moving and progressing to get to the end of these corridors and through these rooms? I'm going to trade in these two cards to purchase this corridor, which, if you notice back up here, has a location icon. That means I get to draw the next location card and see what happens there. It's a broken bridge. That gives me a test. Now with these tests, we move into this box, which has a xenomorph inside of it and a circle. That circle is where I need to place this health icon, and this is part of the dexterity portion of this game, where I throw it in here, and if it falls anywhere on or in that line, then I have passed the test. I've progressed through that room. I'm on my way to the very end, which of course is the landing bay. And the landing pad, is right here. If I can get through all 14 locations, survive all of these challenges in this massive deck, then I've got the final boss fight. It's the Queen Mother herself, and it takes 3 hits to hit her. So, what do I want to do, knowing that that's coming? Well, I want to collect as much guns and ammo as I possibly can. And so I start here with a pulse rifle, and that pulse rifle gives me 3 magazines and 4 rounds per magazine. But there's all kinds of extra special goodies throughout this deck. I can pick up a grenade launcher, and who wouldn't want a spare grenade launcher? Now you see how large that grenade token is. If I move over here to the alien, if I want to chuck that grenade at the alien, well, most of the time you hit, but I didn't get it anywhere near that circle. That time I hit the alien. So these don't come very often. You want to be careful when you choose to use your grenade. But that's not all, folks. We've got laser rifles that shoot all kinds of different laser ammunition, as you see there. We've got simple grenades. We've got an autogun. You want to set those up. For those of you who remember the second Alien movie, the autoguns are great for clearing corridors. And then the piece de la resistance, the flamethrower. If you can afford that flamethrower, which takes 3 search icons, you get to burn everything up as much as you want. And who knows what barbecued alien actually tastes like? We may find out. Along the way, while you're doing that, we are also picking up our crew members, and our crew members give us special bonuses. So here Terrence will give us a key to open up the door. Hobbs gives us ammunition. Myra gives us more grenades. And Sprinkles, who wouldn't want to save Sprinkles because we love cats? And Sprinkles gives us an extra toss in case we want to redo a toss. So this is a race against time because every time I take a shot, every time I have to reload my magazine, if I run into an obstacle card that costs time, I am marking my time. And this is starting to march down to 0. If I go to 0, it self-destructs. The mining colony is gone and you have turned into mist and vapor. The other problem is sometimes if I'm failing in these tests or if the aliens get me, I am counting down my health. And notice as I cross over to this track, I now have to use a much smaller health token to throw into the box. So the challenges are there, the fun is there, the press your luck aspect is there. It's a lot of fun. This is a solo game called Hunted Mining Colony 415. Pick it up now for your spare time with nerds.